the Source, you might recall, is a movie that we said we weren't going to do.
Yeah.
So naturally we lied and did it anyway.
Yeah, that's your fault.
I've considered myself something of a Highlander fan. So a few years down the road, I'd pretty much forgotten about Highlander. Until just one time, by chance, my uncle was watching a movie that he said was Highlander. Really, this movie is not something you should talk about. It's not a good movie, certainly, but it's just...
Well,
I wasn't ready for how
you
bad
had
it
us
was.
watch it, so now we have to talk about it.
I wasn't
We're
ready
saving lives here.
I wasn't ready for how bad that movie was.
It was pretty bad.
Oh my god. For those of you that don't know, Highlander the Source is
SyFy.
Is not a straight to DVD release. It is a straight to SyFy channel release.
The movie's there to trick you, right from the beginning. Because at first you're like, there's a fight sequence with some Asian guy. And you're like, okay, maybe he's a main character, and he's fighting what looks to be an almost decent enemy design. But then the enemy, like, consumes him and becomes stupid as hell.
The Guardian.
The Guardian.
You didn't like The Guardian?
The Guardian becomes dumb because then it has a dumb face and it starts making puns and, like, bad one-liners. Don't put those in your movies. Stop it!
Well, first of all, there's so many scientific inaccuracies in that movie.
Give us the big example.
Okay, the big example was... Well, for one, there was that stupid orbital wobble comment.
Yeah, go ahead and explain that.
Where he's like, okay,
that'll
everyone's notice is like, they're like, oh, it's strange. Ever since this happened, all the planets have been suddenly shifting out of their orbit and are moving closer to Earth. That's unusual, but that could just be orbital wobble. This movie is talking about, it's the source. They're looking for the source, what is supposedly the source of immortality.
Of their powers.
Of their powers. And as they get closer to the source, their powers weaken, and they lose their immortality.
So the closer they get to the power that gives them their powers, the less power they have with their powers.
Yes. No, you gotta talk about the thing that pissed you off the most. Princes of the Universe.
The Princes of the Universe?
We're the Princes of the Universe! But, you know, stupid character designs, the writing is terrible, the acting is atrocious, oh my god. Oh my god.
The effects are not good in this movie. Like it's shot well enough, like they got good cameras and stuff, and overall it looks fine, but then as soon as they need a special effect, it's like, I didn't know that we were still drawing on the film like 1976. The year before Star Wars invented technology. They have these, like, fast-speed fight sequences of the Guardian that just... They're so bad. They're really bad.
At the very end of the movie, they have their climactic fight scene with the Guardian, right? We call this, what happened, the Looney Tunes ending to this movie.
It's pretty accurate.
Because the way they defeated the Guardian is Duncan, like, ran around him really fast.
Yeah, he's, like, blocking his blows while making him spin around.
And he runs around him really fast to the point that the Guardian spins around in a circle and, like, corkscrew drills into the earth and gets stuck. And that's how they defeat him.
And this, by the way, this is at the source.
Yeah.
Where the closer you get, the dumber the movie is.
Yes.
Okay, so to wrap things up, it was not a good movie. Like, parts of it seemed like it could be, you know, decent for SyFy, because, like, they actually had good cameras, and sometimes they have really amateurish cameras when they do their SyFy.
This was supposed to be the start of a trilogy. It was
supposed to be the start of a trilogy, which obviously didn't happen because the rest of it was pretty terrible. They had a decent budget for this movie. It was like $10 million, which is a lot of money for a SyFy. But overall, as a movie, you know, not just like we put something on camera, but as a movie, which is supposed to have, you know, plots and characters and a whole bunch of elements put together, this was a cataclysmic failure. You should not see this movie.
It was an ancient catastrophe. But why can't they just make a movie that's like the first one? You know, actually good. That told a good story, used flashback effectively, unlike, say, this movie, which focuses on yet another one of Duncan's supposed one true loves, even though he's had like 5 different love interests over the course. So many love interests.
Maybe they should stop making them.
Maybe they should.